What if the reason you're not building wealth isn't because you don't earn enough, but because your life quietly becomes more expensive every time you do? Not dramatically, not all at once, just slowly enough that you never really question it. Let's take a fairly normal situation. You're in your late 20s or early 30s. You've done what you were supposed to do, education, job, steady progress. You land a decent role making around $75,000 a year in the US, or maybe 55,000 euros somewhere in Europe. After taxes, that's roughly $4,200 a month, give or take. Now the money comes in and life adjusts. You move out of your shared apartment into your own place, rent goes from $900 to $1,600, you upgrade your car, nothing extreme, just something reliable and comfortable. That's another $450 a month. Your phone, subscriptions, insurance, groceries, utilities, they settle around $1,200. Then there's eating out, small trips, social events, another $600 without much effort. And just like that, without doing anything reckless, you're spending almost everything you earn. No big mistakes, no irresponsible decisions, just a normal life. This is where lifestyle inflation becomes invisible, because nothing feels excessive. You didn't buy a luxury car, you didn't move into a penthouse, you didn't suddenly start living wildly, you just upgraded your life slightly every time your income improved. And over time, your expenses rose to meet your income almost perfectly. So even though you earn more than you did a few years ago, your financial position hasn't really changed. You're still dependent on the next paycheck, still thinking twice before big decisions, still feeling like you should be doing better by now. Now let's break this down quietly. That extra $700 in rent and $450 car payment, that's $1,150 per month. Over a year, that's about $13,800. Over 10 years, that's $138,000. And that's just two upgrades. If that same amount was invested, even at a simple 7% annual return, you're looking at around $190,000 over a decade. Not from earning more, just from not inflating your lifestyle as quickly. This is the part most people never calculate because the changes feel small, but the accumulation is not. The reason this happens isn't a lack of intelligence, it's adaptation. Humans are wired to normalize improvement quickly. A better apartment stops feeling better after a few months. A nicer car becomes your new baseline. Higher spending becomes your new normal. At the same time, there's quiet social pressure. Your peers are upgrading, your environment reflects a certain standard, and without realizing it, your brain starts to connect spending with progress, not wealth, but progress. So even when you're doing well, you feel like you're just keeping up. If this continues for 10, 15, 20 years, something subtle but serious happens. Your income may grow, but your flexibility doesn't. You become locked into your lifestyle. You need the salary, you need the stability, and you can't easily step back, switch paths, or take risks. Not because you're irresponsible, but because your life is now expensive by design. And that's the real cost of lifestyle inflation. Not stress, not even debt, but the loss of financial freedom. People who build long-term wealth don't necessarily earn dramatically more. They just delay lifestyle upgrades longer than most. When their income increases, their life doesn't immediately expand with it. From the outside, it can look like they're underliving. Same apartment for a few extra years, same car longer than expected, fewer visible upgrades. But internally, something very different is happening. Their surplus is growing. Their investments are compounding. Their options are quietly increasing. They're not avoiding spending, they're just being selective about when it actually improves their life versus when it simply keeps pace with their income. Lifestyle inflation isn't obvious. It doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels like progress, which is exactly why it's so easy to miss. But once you see it, you start to notice the difference between earning more and actually moving forward. Not every upgrade is a step ahead. Some are just sideways. And understanding that distinction is where real financial clarity begins. If this made you think a little differently about money, you can subscribe for more calm, honest breakdowns like this.
Subscribe, please.